When is the last time that you slowed down and asked yourself if you're really thriving or are you just functioning, making it through, and surviving? My next guest specializes in not only empowering beauty, but empowering wellness on a deeper level. She's going to talk all about how she helps women tap into the wellness that we all have inside of us. Stay tuned. We're going to dig in. The secret formula of femininity for women who want to live a more feminine, fun, and fabulous life. I'm Dr. Nicole Monteiro, your host on this weekly journey to unlocking your inner radiance, nurturing fulfilling relationships, and becoming the best version of yourself. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Nicole, your host and guide on this journey to tapping into your feminine essence. And today I have an amazing guest who combines inner beauty, inner wellness, and outer beauty. And she does such amazing things. And we're going to talk about what it really means to be well, some amazing work that she's doing, and what you can do to really up, I would call it, your self care game. And we're going to talk about self care, what it means, how you practice it, and how you really get to it on a deeper level. I want to welcome Nicole Jernigan to the Secret Formula of Femininity podcast. And I am so happy to have you. We've been trying to connect and we finally made it happen. Welcome,
Yeah,
Nicole.
thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You look great. For those of you who are listening, you don't see, but Nicole is wearing such a beautiful crown of natural hair. And so I have questions about it. It looks amazing.
Okay. Oh,
um,
thank you.
and I'm going to tell everyone a little bit more about you. But first, I just want to ask about your journey and what you do. I know your brand is Empowered Beauty and Elevated Wellness. And it's a conference that you do and it's work that you do. Tell us about this work. What does that mean? And how did you even get started?
So, my brand is A Distinct Image, and Empowering Beauty, Elevating Wellness is the conference that I am having to be able to attach to my business. As you mentioned, I am in the hair industry, I'm a lock care specialist, and I also incorporate wellness, sustainability, and holistic care while inside of my business, as well as what I teach my students. And so, I was able to put this framework together just based off of my personal experiences. I was one of those people who lived, thrived in the hustle culture. And for me, it just got to a point where I just felt like I was going and going and going and going and never replenishing. And so it came down to me being diagnosed with a lot of health issues that made me really slow myself down and tap into myself. I am not the type of person who is going to allow anyone to tell me what my destiny is going to be. I am very rebellious. I am very
You're like,
rebellious.
even against illnesses, huh?
Yes, you can't tell me that that is what my life is going to be, and because I know that I'm very mentally strong, and I had to also understand that even that in the space of femininity is okay, right? Being able to advocate for yourself, being able to advocate for your wealth and for your health in general, and so that's what I had to do. I'm listening to everyone tell me what I had to do, what I had to take, and it's like, well, if I just take the time and go inside of my body and see and take inventory on what is going on, I can use their apparatuses, their tests and things like that, and then I can make the care my own. And that's exactly what I did. So I was able to reverse a heat load of illnesses in
Really?
in a
Like
time
what? Do you
period.
mind telling us? Because I'm sure people can relate.
Yes, I love talking about it. I love talking about it because I know that if I can at least reach one person, then my job is done. So I had high risk type 2 diabetes. I
Mm.
had high cholesterol. I had clinical depression. I had extremely high anxiety. Amongst a host of other things, I was almost 300 pounds. And that in general, realizing how my life was, it was full of accolades, right?
Mm.
But had not one accolade, a personal accolade for myself, for my health, for my mental. And so I realized that although, yes, I'm in all of these positions of leadership, I'm in all of these positions of education and teaching and educating the masses and being flown out here and flown out there and going tours, all of those things were amazing. But what I had nothing to show for myself, for
Mm.
my health, for my well-being. And so I tapped all the way in. Like a lot of people, they get diagnosis and they go out and try to find all of the different resources that they can find. And while that was also part of the journey, it wasn't so much of me trying to find resources to maintain it. I wanted it gone.
Okay, not just to be at the
Yeah, I
you
don't
wanted
want to manage it.
wellness.
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
so that is ultimately what led me into the whole wellness aspect of my business and adding it to my business because I'm also seeing women and men every day who are doing the same exact things that I am doing in entrepreneurship and whatever industry that they're in, and realizing that, being that I'm a lot care specialist, I'm looking at your scalp and I see the inconsistencies, I see the breakage, I see the deficits, I see all of the things
You
that are
see
happening
people's
inside your
health through
body.
their hair.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So like I said, I mentioned I do everything in holistic care. So for me, a consultation looks like an hour-long conversation. And I need to know, when was your last hormone panel? When was your last regular blood panel?
Mhm.
What are your cycles like? What is your diet like? What is your stress levels like? I need to know all of that because when I get into your hair, I'm going to be able to see all. Your hair is going to tell me everything,
Yes.
from the smell, from the touch, to everything is going to tell me. So I'd rather you go ahead and try to be forthcoming. I know it's not necessarily a very comfortable thing if you think about it, but my space is very welcoming. So that it makes people more comfortable to be able to open
To
up.
be
And I
able
work
to
with people on a
yes,
one-on-one basis. So I never really have any issues with that. But that is how I gained my entry into wellness. And
wellness through your own story. So that is amazing because a lot of people have these different diagnoses. What what led to that? Were you feeling off or was it just your normal appointment and they said, "Hey," or did you know like you could feel it in your body?
to be honest, to be completely honest, I went to the emergency room and told them I have type 2 diabetes. And they're like, how you don't know that. You don't know. I'm like, run the blood panel and let me know what it says. And it came back. I did. And it was high risk at that. And so just that experience with healthcare, being able to know at the time that I could advocate for myself, but not necessarily knowing what to advocate. Like them telling me, all you have to do is walk around this room while we're waiting and it'll take your blood sugar down. Just information like that
Okay.
would have
Yeah.
been so helpful for me, but I didn't receive that. And so I just made sure that once I left that hospital that day, I knew that I had a plan to be able to reverse it. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I only knew one other person who had been able to reverse it. And I was like, well, if that person can do it, if I can do the research, if I can tap into myself, I know that I can do it too. And I was able
Wow.
to.
So what how long ago was that? Cuz you look amazing. Like
Thank
no
you.
one would know that. So how long ago was that
This
diagnosis?
was about this was about 3.5 years ago.
Long
It
ago.
took me, like I said, I was almost 300 pounds. I walked and walked and walked and walked. I'm talking about getting up to about 6, 7 miles a day.
Mm.
Um, one thing that I was told while I was at the hospital was that taking this one particular pill was just like walking for 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, say less.
You like keep
Say
the
less.
film.
I'll
Let
walk
me
till my feet fall off. I'll walk until my
Yes.
feet fall off. And so during that time, I had the opportunity to just rewire so many things that I was thinking about myself, that I felt about myself. Walking is one of the most powerful things that you can do. I have chills
I hear you.
just
I just went
talking
for a walk this morning.
and
I
just saying.
feel you. Yes.
It is one of the most amazing things that you can do for your body. And
Mhm.
I did a raw vegan diet for about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
And again, not knowing how long it was going to take, not knowing, what this journey ahead of me was going to look like. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to be able to call back the nutritionist that told me that I was going to be taking medicine for the rest of my life. I wanted to call her and be able to say, hey, no, go ahead and take this back. Not doing that. And actually, what you told me to do was only going to manage. And what I did do, got it up out of here. So in a very egoic space,
But hey, ego can take you
I can
places.
honestly say that in a very egoic space, I was able to contact her and let her know that, my A1C now is way beyond
What they even
way
wanted for
beyond
you.
what it means, way beyond what it means. And I did a little of what the doctor wanted me to do, and I did a whole lot of what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And that is currently what I am still doing. Even now with being, diagnosed with a prolactin adenoma. And
Hmm.
so
What is
that
that?
is a brain tumor. And I am doing the same exact thing with that. I am using a little bit of what the doctor wants me to do
Okay.
and a whole lot of what I know I need to do to be
Yeah.
able to turn this around. And I have definitely been able to do just that. So
Wow. So you have turned around a brain tumor.
yes. My levels, so the levels are supposed to be between 4.8 and 23.3. When I first went to my doctor, I told her, I said, listen, I need a hormone panel. She was like, Nicole,
But
only you will be coming in here asking for a hormone panel. And I'm like, I need a hormone panel. So she's asking me, what makes you think you need a hormone panel? I expressed to her all of the things that are happening, the things that I've noticed take shape and difference and manifest in my body. And I'm like, okay, and this is why. So she's like, okay, cool. Come back. The level, like I said, was supposed to be between 4.8 and 23.3. At the time, it was like 98. It had gotten up to 198. And now it is beautifully at 15.7.
wow.
So
You work magic on
there's
your body.
nothing you can't tell anyone about going inside of your body to orchestrate. Now, don't get me wrong. God is the main orchestrator.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
But going inside to advocate for your own wellness, to advocate for your own care is the key to everything. I feel like it's the key to life. And so I want to be able to pass that on to my community. I want to be able to pass that on to anyone who will listen because the truth of the matter is we're all going to come down with something.
Yes.
We're
But
all
it
going to
doesn't
have
have to be what
somehow.
we yes.
It does not have to be what it is defined to be, and it does not have to be what we were told that it is.
Yes.
You can create your own story for yourself based on how hard are you willing to go for yourself. And I hear people say all the time, you know, I'll die for my kids, but would you live for them? You
That part.
know,
That
there are a lot of things that we're willing to lay down the line, but are you willing to go the extra mile to take care of you?
yes.
To make sure that you're still here to do the work that you say you want to do. And that was my goal. I wanted to still be here to do the work that I have set out to do for myself and my community.
So, Nicole, that testimony right there is powerful. And you were already a loctician in the beauty, natural, holistic space. And then you added the wellness because of your own journey and seeing what you did for yourself and how you could help other people. So, that's a
So I
powerful
was I
combination.
wasn't in the holistic space yet. I added the holistic
Okay.
space after
After your,
joining. I would do it for myself inside of my home, but I didn't bring it into the salon until after I figured out what my journey even looked like. Because it's one of those things where people say, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And it's like, I don't know. I
Mhm,
don't know. I can tell you when I finish the I can tell you when I finish, and that's pretty much how it came into
mhm.
fruition. So now that I am a holistic space, sustainable space, I am now the first and only sustainable and green, clean, natural hair salon in the South. region of Hampton Roads, to partner with Green Circle Salon. So we recycle anything from hair to used color, plastic, all of the things that are recyclable in the salon to keep it sustainable and green. We partner with that company or that organization to be able to keep the environment inside the salon toxic free and clean as well.
That is that is powerful. I want to walk that back so people can really get it, cuz I think there's certain terms that just go over people's heads sometimes, but when you
Yeah.
say sustainable, non-toxic, so we hear so much, I've been hearing so much about these microplastics and all the chemicals and all the products we put. So not only are you helping people with their hair, their scalp, how they, they present, but it's their overall wellness, and your
Totally.
salon is minimizing toxins.
Yes, and
That
low
is
carbon
awesome.
footprint.
Yes. And what
Low
state is
carbon.
this?
This is in Virginia. I'm in
Okay.
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. So some of us need to be driving down there. I know you're in driving distance. Um, because just to have that contribution to not just the person, but to the environment, I think is so
For
powerful.
sure.
Let me just stop and read a little bit of Nicole's accolades. I can't read it all. She has done a lot. Nicole is the founder and owner of A Distinct Image Incorporated, a woman owned natural hair and wellness studio based in Virginia Beach, Virginia, with over 25 years in the natural hair industry and more than a decade in salon management. So you were already doing it, the thing, before you even added wellness and started your conference. Her
Yes, ma'am.
brand is rooted in holistic beauty, conscious entrepreneurship, and community empowerment. We were talking a little bit before, and Nicole was telling me how she's an occupational self care advocate. And oh, you're creator of the trademarked AHA Hair Psych training. So is that a way that you train people in this sustainability and holistic natural approach to hair?
So AHA Hair Site is a framework that I've created for stylists to be able to help them understand their clients on a deeper level, to be able to retain, to be able to keep and grow their clientele. Because getting the people in the chair is not the issue. Keeping them in the chair is where you want to be able to, grow your business. And a lot of times we just don't know how to connect. And
Mm,
so aha is the aha moments that are created in psychology. My background is in psychology.
okay.
And
Yes.
so using the principles of positive psychology and the principles of cosmetology and natural hair, I've fused them together to create the framework to be able to help stylists grow and maintain their clientele
Yeah.
as I've been able to do.
Okay, amazing. I could see how I could see, like, just from your demeanor, and I could see you having a lot of care and connection to your clients. I'll just say one last thing. Nicole has all the accolades, and as she said, travel, community education, high school outreach. One thing that's important, Nicole says she's grounded in faith, creativity, and intention, and she embodies what it means to live and lead with purpose. Cultivating beauty is not just in hair, but in the hearts and lives of those who she serves. And one of the ways she serves is through a conference that she'll be telling us about. Um, Nicole, how did you get into natural hair? Like what was that journey like?
So I was 7 years old when I started braiding. My mom, shout out to my mom. My mom, she wasn't the best braider. And I would, again, that rebellion coming through, would say, I don't like it. I don't like it. And she's like, okay, well, if you don't like it, do it yourself. And what she didn't know was that I was already working on my sisters, one like a half a braid at a time. So
Okay.
I'm 6 and 7, redoing braids. And she couldn't really tell the difference because neither one of us knew what we were doing at the time. And so as I got older, I mastered it. I wholeheartedly mastered it.
Like
And by
cornrows,
the
everything, all kinds of.
everything. So I had a whole lineup. By the time I was in middle school, I had a full-on business as an entrepreneur. Didn't even know that that's what I was.
You were
Had
doing
no
people's
idea.
hair.
Yes, absolutely. Like lined up, lined up. I had one of my sisters would take the hair down. One of my sisters would shampoo. One of my sisters would blow dry, and I would braid. It was literally a whole assembly. So I didn't even know that I was an entrepreneur. I would divvy out their shares so they can go and buy their things, and I do the things that I need to do. As I got older, I began to establish myself as a very, very high demand braider in my area. And this was well before the whole concept of natural hair even
Uh-huh.
began. When I got to, I want to say about 2015, 16, I moved over to a salon where the owner allowed me to use my educational direction to be able to cultivate a learning hub for natural hair inside of her salon. And then it turned into a natural hair salon.
You were
And
teaching people how to do natural hair
yes,
within that
she
salon.
allowed me, she allowed me to do that with all of the new stylists that came in. Typically, they were coming right in from school,
Mhm.
needing more and wanting more education. And she allowed me to literally run her whole salon. And from there, I was able to get even more, experience in being able to reach into the community, reach into stylists, get to understand what was going on in their minds. I was on the board for I was on the board of directors, not board of directors. I am so sorry. I didn't
For
direct
the
anything. But just like it was a board for people, like for the community to be able to come in to give their input.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Yes,
Advisors.
advisory board. Uh-huh.
For a very prominent hair school in the area. And that allowed me more opportunity to be able to get more in depth into the community and to be able to give them, knowledge on how to be able to help them in the natural hair space. And long story short, I was able to go off into my own. I got my license, my braider's license. They used to have a braider's license in Virginia.
Okay.
I got that at 19. I got my business license at 22. From there, I will go on to managing different salons and things of that nature. And about almost 6 years ago, I went into my own space, and now I'm in my fourth year of being in my
In
own
your own
storefront.
space. Okay. And you're
Yes.
doing and then where do people also come to the salon for the wellness part? Like you can do a full if you notice somebody's scalp and you can tell, and I've had this where a hair salon, they can say, "Oh, I could tell you wear your hair back in a ponytail a lot because you can see
Mhm.
where the thing is." So if you notice somebody's scalp or just through their hair where they might be deficient or maybe even the beginnings of certain conditions, do you then advise them like, "Hey, I can help you on this wellness aspect as well?"
So I do everything by appointment only.
Oh,
So typically people have to seek me out. I've learned in this industry that it can become very overbearing to constantly go to people because everybody is not ready for that type of
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So you have to be intentional about who you are giving your information to because a lot of people, again, just like with healthcare, they just want the quick fix, right? And it's not a quick fix type of situation. Your health, your wellness, your hair is not a quick fix type situation. And so I had to learn to scale back so that I could give more to myself and be more intentional about the people that I'm reaching. So when people come to me, they know the work that I do, what I offer, and it's a nice investment into yourself to know, okay, if I commit to this, I am really about to get into some really deep work
Like
that
I
I
have
may
to
not have
all in.
ever done before. Yes. And
Yes.
that's what I want them to know prior to even coming into space. I'm a very loving person. I'm a very warm person, but I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to play with
You're one
you.
of those coaches that are like, "No, you're not gonna lie and say that,
Mm-mm.
you did X, Y, and Z, and I know you didn't."
I know you did. Your
Mhm.
hair is telling me that you did not.
Mhm. Mhm.
Your pheromones are telling me that you did
Yes.
not. We're not. Don't come in here playing. Okay,
Okay.
do not come
Uh-huh.
in here playing. But yeah, it's you have to be very intentional because also you don't want to get emotional burnout. I feel
Yes.
like as stylists and anybody in the customer service realm, no matter what industry you're in, we are emotionally nomadic, and that is a term that I have created to describe what we have to be and what we have to do to offer our clients the help that they need because they come in one way. While they're being service, they're another way. And by the time they leave, they're a whole nother person.
Completely
So
different.
we have to adjust to all of those
Yes.
people. And I teach that framework in my AHA hair site portion because you need to know that that's what's occurring. You need to know that that's so you can adjust yourself. It can feel overwhelming. You can feel very heavy after dealing with one person. So if one person is really three people at minimum, imagine with five people seeing five people a day.
You're dealing with 15. It's like you start doing that math where it just
I don't have the capacity.
yes, yes.
I don't have the
Mhm.
capacity. And so because of that, I only service about 2 to 3 people a day and I'm ready to go do something else.
Yeah, because it sounds like you just really put everything into it. It's not
Yes.
just, I've been to places. I actually started going to a hair school for my hair
Mhm.
trims because I feel like I went a few times. The teacher was there. There was a lot of care and concern. I've been to certain salons where they would just cut your hair any kind of way. And I was like, no, you're a little bit too frivolous or not connected.
Here in Boston.
Yes, yes. So, have you tell us about like you said, you started before natural hair, before everybody had the charts and the 4C and
Mhm.
4A and this product and that product and like was natural hair a part of the women in your family? How did you even just get so dedicated and know so much about hair?
To be honest, no. I have a cosmetologist in my family, and so we were relaxed down. We were
Okay.
like, however, when I got to high school, I wore braids majority of my high school career.
Mhm.
Just to insert about myself, a personal insert about myself, I became a teen mom, and I I got pregnant with my son when I was in the 10th grade, had him in the 11th grade. Prior to that, me being a braider and always working, I wore braids a lot. So I went natural on accident. And
Okay.
so because I could tell the difference in my hair, the fullness, the thickness, the length, everything, I was like, I'm not doing a relaxer anymore. Like that just defeats the whole purpose because I know that if I keep my hair braided with the relaxer underneath, my hair is gonna be even more broken off when I
Pulling
take it
it.
down.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Not even necessarily, I was braiding my own hair,
Okay.
so it wasn't necessarily the tension, but the dryness, you have to support that chemical. And
Mm.
so if you can't support that chemical, what do you think is going to happen once you take it down? It's dry, it's crunchy, it's unsupported.
Yeah.
And so I just stopped getting relaxers and that changed the trajectory of how a lot of my family members saw hair in general.
So they gain more because I think with a lot of women and black women in our communities, if you don't see it, you don't even know how some of us don't even know how to deal with our hair in our natural state.
Mhm.
And we think,
Mhm.
oh, it's too unruly, is this or that. And I remember I've always just seen my mom like with the afro or just she had locks or something. So it always occurred to me, and my hair is a little bit different than hers, it's a little bit finer, but it always just occurred to me to understand my hair. So I
Mhm.
can imagine like you going on your journey, encouraging the other women. Like we all have there's different types and shapes and all that stuff to just know our hair.
Right, but back then we didn't have that education. There
Mm,
was no education in the hair schools. There was no education in the textbooks.
mhm.
It was literally like a trial and error type
Wow.
situation. And as I started working with other people, that's how I gained my knowledge. That's when I was able to see, oh, you want micro braids, you can't get a relaxer. Or you
Oh,
want nice
you
braids, you can't get
need.
a relaxer. I needed the new growth because that was the natural hair. At the time, of course, we didn't know. We just knew that it was new growth. We didn't know that it was just natural hair without relaxer. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, you can't have a fresh relaxer and you want to get micros or you want to get box braids. It's not going to attach the same way. You may have more breakage. And
Uh-huh.
so that is how my education started to learn and how I started to learn it and grow it by working with other people. Then it helped me to apply it to myself. I had to see. I'm a very visual person. So I
Yes.
had to see it and then I could apply it to myself. And then once the natural hair um phenomenon came about, it helped, like, then they started throwing in products and then the chart and all of these things,
Yes.
and even in that space, I'm like, "This is a very unhealthy attachment."
Mm. Tell me more
This
about that, like, where people were so attached to the
they were attached to the products, they were attached to the idea of what type of natural they had to be or
mm.
the people around them had to be. Again, my background is in psychology, so I'm just like, for you to put so much emphasis on this rainwater
Yeah, what
or
is
this
that? Wait, people were doing
you wanna put this monostat on your scalp so bad.
Ah,
Why are you
yes.
so attached to the idea? Why do you want to boil these wood chips to pour on your why do you want to crack an egg on your head? Like, I really wanted to understand the psychology behind all of this, and again, attaching it to wellness, not knowing that at the time is what helped me understand people's people's
State of
understanding
my
of my behavior and what they thought it was. And so my job, I felt like, was to help them understand that it's not about everyone else in your natural hair. It's about you and your natural
yeah.
hair. And helping them understand, well, I know you don't want to big chop. I don't want to big chop you. I feel like if that's what you want to do that on your own time and then come back to me
Mhm.
to help you
With
process
that.
this
Uh-huh.
situation. Because even the understanding of you doing a big chop and somebody else doing it, the emotional
Mm.
attachments,
To that hair, huh?
uh, no, 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 no. Do it yourself and then come see me.
I love
Just
that
understand,
approach.
like,
Yes. Uh-huh.
understanding it early on is what helped me get to the point where I am now. So it's like for me, understanding that everything takes place internally before it comes out externally is why I am so indebted to wellness, which is why I'm doing this conference. I need more people to know that there are so many levels to wellness, so many different alternatives, and not alternatives in a negative connotation,
Yes. Yeah.
but alternative as in there are more things other than the traditional way that we grew up knowing. There are different ways to be able to incorporate wellness within yourself. So that's why it is called empowering beauty because we want to feel empowered in our beauty, our natural beauty, our enhanced beauty, whatever type of beauty it is, we want to feel empowered, but we want to be elevated by having a higher sense of wellness within us because what is beauty without wellness?
Say it again.
Mhm.
Because
Like
a lot
literally.
of people look beautiful but aren't well.
Mm-mm.
So what
They're not.
tell us about the conference, the full name. Is this your first year doing it? Can people join from virtual? Like tell us everything.
Yes. So the name of the conference is Empowering Beauty, Elevating Wellness, a micro conference. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about the micro portion of it now. I did it in a micro conference because when you think about conference, you think of big audience, stage, a lot of people. And all I think about is me being in the corner
Mm,
twiddling my thumb because my anxiety has gotten the best of me. I'm probably not going to ask my questions. I probably don't even get to serve the purpose of why I even bought the ticket. But
okay.
in a more intimate space, people are more open to open up and be more transparent. And so I'm holding the conference inside of my salon because it's not so huge. It's not a big space. And so it's going to be an intimate audience or intimate space where we can have all of these people. I have therapists, I have homesteader, I have a integral doctor, a functional doctor, a Ayurvedic practitioner, a sound practitioner, a she calls herself a baby catcher, but like a doula or
Doula. Uh-huh.
midwife.
Okay.
There, I mean, I put a fitness advocate. I've put so many people in one space. So the space, the size will be intimate and modest, but the impact will be huge. And as of yesterday, it will be available virtual.
Okay.
So
That's what I was
it,
so
yes,
outside of Virginia, people can
yes,
sign
yes,
up. Okay. Yes.
yes, they will be able to. And for me, that was a gift given to me. I know nothing about tech.
Or
And that is
video.
just
Right.
not a strong suit. And so although I wanted it to be able to happen, again, you sow your seed, you pour your burdens onto God. He will make things happen for you. And I literally one day walked down the sidewalk saying to myself, God, I really want this to be bigger than the program. I want this to be bigger than me. I really want you to send me people that can align my vision and my goal and my purpose. I'm sorry, I'm getting goosebumps
No,
and I'm getting
yes.
emotional.
Thank you. It's
And I
so
really
important.
want you to put these people in my space and align them with me so that this can be exactly what I want it to be. About 2 hours later, my videographer walked in and he said, "Why didn't you tell me about this conference? Why didn't you tell me? Because now it's going to be live, and this is how you're going to launch your website, and this is how you're going to be able to reach all the people. And here's the donation." And I'm like,
So he's gonna do the
all of
like,
it.
whatever you need to so people, when they buy their tickets, if they're not in Virginia, if they can't come in person, they can still see and get all of the sessions
Yeah,
virtually.
yes, and
And this
so
is
ultimately,
November.
it's a free conference. I am just
Okay.
taking donations because I'm going to launch my Natural Hair School or ADI Institute at the at a later date,
Right.
more so like in the next fall. And so I'm
Okay.
doing a lot of community events so that I can get the donations to be able to help with the launch of it. That type of stuff is very expensive, and
Yes.
so just being able to do what I really love, which is involving the community, instead of me going out into the community, which is what I do 95% of the time, bring the community into my sacred space to be able to do what my purpose is
And
to serve.
experience, it sounds like, to experience you, because it's you're not just doing hair, not that that's, but like you're doing the whole person. And
Yes.
this is November 15th?
15. Yes.
Okay,
No.
okay. And this is the first year, or that you
Yes, this is the first year of having this conference, but
okay.
I've had women's conferences. It was called Coils Comfort and Conversation, where you come in your pajamas and everybody sits on the floor on pillows. And so the purpose of that was for everyone to be on the same level so that you're not looking up at someone on a stage. You're not looking up at someone, doing some grandiose thing. I want everyone to be on the same level to receive the information, the education, and to be able to network with people and not have to worry about, oh, is my hair perfect? Are my clothes perfect? Is my makeup perfect? Get rid of all of that. Put
Yeah.
your pajamas on and come hang out with us.
Oh
And
God.
so I did 3, actually I did 4 of those. And it was a beautiful thing, but it's been such a long time because I had to, pour back into myself
Mhm.
and rebuild, rebrand myself and my business. And so now I'm ready to go back into it now. And this is the first installment since then.
Okay. All right. Great. So I have my mind is going so many places. First of all, it's so inspiring, and I hope people listening have that inspiration to go after your dream, no matter. And
Yeah,
you might it might shift, right? Like this is your first year doing the micro conference, even though you did other things. So always chase your dream and serve people and know that it's possible. That's what I get from your story. Um,
absolutely.
but what are some? First of all, how long have you had locks?
So I've had my locks for this is my second set, and
Okay.
this lock journey has been about 4 years old, going on
Okay.
5 in April. And it's probably one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had in a very long time. The very first time I wasn't a loctician solely yet.
Okay.
So I didn't know what philosophy that was one of the things that I wanted to touch on earlier when you were talking about going to different salons, understanding and knowing what the philosophy of the salon is and the culture of the salon is before you go in so that you
Mhm.
know what you're walking into. So I didn't understand the philosophy that I was looking for. There are quite a few different philosophies for locks or for stylists in general. And the second go around, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly who I wanted to do it. I knew exactly how I wanted it to look, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this has been a very, very beautiful journey for me so far.
Yeah. So when people do you do virtual? Well, I don't know how that would work because you need to look at the scalp, but I'm just curious if people wanted to connect with you virtually because they really love your philosophy and how you work. Could you?
Yes, I still do offer virtual consultations I just make sure that they know that a very imperative piece to this is to be able to see you in person.
Okay.
I use all of my senses in exception to taste. I'm not tasting any hair.
Okay.
But I use all of my senses to serve this. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's very imperative to be able to give you adequate information. But if you can't get to me, I can still provide you the information based off of the information that you provide on the consultation form because, like I said, it's very in depth.
Mhm.
And me, I can read you a dissertation off of the information on the form. So the only thing you will be missing is that part of the consultation. But everything else, yes, I can definitely do virtually in a consultation. I also teach classes virtually.
Okay.
Um, and there are a lot of things that like I said, I'm not very tech savvy, but I'm
Mhm.
definitely working my way because I don't want to miss an opportunity to be able to help someone that is very, really big for me. And so I definitely am working more towards being able to have things available online. The same thing will go for my school. I want to be able, I will have it
Yes.
online. So for people who can do self-paced or can't physically be in Virginia.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so important. And one thing I'm thinking is like, what a legacy, because as women, we tend to do what the women before us did, unless
Yeah,
we're that one who is the generation changer. And
yeah,
so, just when it comes to taking care of yourself, how you eat, how you exercise, how you view your hair, and I have just found that like I would see women where they had to have, and again, everybody, I have no judgment on anybody's
yeah,
hairstyle, but like I used to see women that I knew where they had to have like a relaxer or a certain type of thing or whatever, certain type of weave. And then when I would just see them where it just was natural, maybe not on purpose, the beauty that I would see shining through. And I would have to stop myself because I'm like, I don't want to, but I would be like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. And it just
mm,
made me think like, how I want my daughters to be able to put their hands through their hair and know their hair and feel that whatever state or texture, it is beautiful and there's nothing wrong about it or whatever, unmanageable, unruly, all these things, because it is just who they are. And it's like there's nothing more beautiful than seeing that.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I agree with you, man. Especially about following the women before you. I had my mom is such a she's such a beautiful spirit to me. She has the determination, the will, the intention of so many great, great things, and she embodies so many great things. I also had an amazing father. My father is where I get my understanding, my
Mhm.
higher level of consciousness from, and the deeper thoughts and just the deep integrative way of being from. And I I definitely honor my mom, but definitely hold high regard for my father in that space of wanting to dig deeper, knowing and feeling and embodying something so much deeper than just the surface level, which is where a lot of people tend to hang out. Um, I I love that man.
Are they
He's no
both still
longer.
living? Uh,
My mom is. My father has transitioned, but there is in no way, shape, or capacity that I don't feel him as well as my sister who has also passed. I don't feel them every day. I feel
mhm.
them every single day. I look to them for my guidance. I look to them to help me understand a lot of different things that I'm experiencing throughout my life. Understanding just, in general, we're walking through different energies every day, all day, transferring energies all day, every day. And so just knowing that you can always go back into yourself has been something that he taught me, and I have held on to I will hold on to for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah, that's so beautiful. Yeah. And one of the things that I like to talk about on the podcast is the important, we talk about femininity, but masculine
Mhm.
energies is important to us as women, and having that example and that steadiness. So it's beautiful that you were close to your dad like that.
Absolutely, and I feel like he taught me the essence of femininity in his masculinity, but my father spoke very soft. He
Mm.
spoke very low, but you heard what he said.
Like there was no
You know,
mistaking it, huh?
there was no mistake, and because he did not raise his voice, you were more apt to listen more intently because he wasn't gonna repeat himself either.
Yeah.
And so that to me helped me understand that in my femininity, I it's okay for me to speak softer. It's okay for me to speak slower. It's okay for me to not repeat myself and be firm in my femininity as well as the message that I'm trying to convey and still not be looked at as being hard or
Yeah. Yeah.
overly masculine because that's the way I used to be. Worked
Mm.
very, very hard on trying to transition myself from the space of being the resilient, strong Black woman
Yeah.
to and I wanted to be a supple, feminine,
Mm.
sensual being. I didn't want to be the person, oh, she's gonna get it done. She's hard worker, she's strong. I didn't ask to be that. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want that
Stop
anymore.
putting that
I
on
do
me.
want to
Yeah.
feel, yeah, I do want to be able to still handle my business, but I don't want to feel as masculine as I felt throughout my years. I want to be able to relate, and that's one of my gifts I feel like I have. I think on a very masculine side of things. So I it's very easy for me to see the good, the challenging of both sides, both feminine and masculine.
Hmm.
However, I want to present as feminine as I can with also letting you know that again, we're not coming over here to play.
Like
Okay.
there's a boundary here. Yes.
There's strong boundaries over here, and
Yes.
it can be real strict over here, okay? But it's just because I know what I want to exude to the world. I know what my heart space looks like. I know what my heart posture looks like with God and how I want it to continue to look. And I don't want that to be misconstrued with the fact that I won't get you out of my space because I'm so busy trying
Yeah.
to be sensual. I'm so busy trying to be feminine. Um, because then that's how to kick back in real good and real nice and firm and let you
So
know, this isn't the space for us. You know,
yes,
this isn't gonna work for us. So I want to excuse myself before it goes to a different
it
level that it
goes
does not
left.
to.
So how did you, because you mentioned having been in hustle culture, which is a more
Mm, mm.
masculine energy. How was it that you were more in that masculine side? And then what made you, as you said, want to come to the softer side? Tell us about that.
So what had me in that space was watching the women before me.
Okay.
Watching the women before me, everything was hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I gotta do it, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. I forgot, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I'm just like, that is just not a way to eat. I realized that my nervous system was just in disarray all of the time. And I'm like, how do I slow this down? How do I make this work? Like I noticed that we would get waking up for school or for, whatever, about 15, 30 minutes before it's time to be there. Well, that's not enough time for
You
me
be
to wake
like,
up and gracefully. Like
yes.
I need to figure out who I'm gonna be today. I wanted to have slower mornings and slower evenings. And so understanding and knowing that I was in this hustle mode space, I had to literally take myself out of that space, out of the salon that I was in, and put myself by myself. I kept hearing God say seclusion, seclusion,
Mm,
seclusion. And so I secluded myself and literally had to work on myself from the tips of my toes to the follicles of my head. And doing that, I noticed even how I would walk real fast all the
yeah.
time and hard. And it's just like, girl,
So you
nothing is
even
going.
started to notice that how slowing down affected that.
Yes, my father would tell me all the time, if it's meant for you to have, it'll be there when you get there. Take
Yeah.
your time. And he would also tell me the best way to get there is to go straight. And so hustle culture tells you take a shortcut, take a
Mm,
shortcut, take a
that's
shortcut.
not working. All
But
right,
if
let me
you
hurry up
go
and pivot and change this and
Exactly, but if you
mhm,
just go straight, you'll intentionally experience all the things that you'll be able to experience, and if that goal is meant for you to have, it'll be there when you get there.
yeah.
It'll be waiting for you when you reach it. And so that I would hear those words And that is what I put into me slowing down. And even how I would eat so fast, and it's
Uh,
just like, oh, now my chest hurts, and now my stomach hurts, and it's like, slow
indigestion and
down. Yes, slow down. Drinking water. Why are we gulping? Sip it.
yeah.
You know that theoretically, that's the way you're supposed to drink water anyway. So you're not swallowing more air than water to begin with. Just different things like, even understanding, being slow to respond.
Mhm.
Don't allow people to put you in spaces where they want you to give them an answer right now. Like,
Reactions
give
and
me no, 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 no. It's okay to say, I want to think about this for a little bit.
yeah,
Let me think about it and let me get back to you. And if the offer is not on the table anymore, then that opportunity wasn't for you anyway.
yeah.
So allowing yourself time to just think, process. Is this something that's going to be valuable to me? Is this something that's going to hinder me? Do I feel like doing it? Do I have the capacity to be able to do it? Understanding those things helped me so much in my femininity. And then I have two sisters who are just the two sexiest beings I've ever seen in my
Oh.
life. And they taught me about the aesthetic of
Yes.
femininity.
Mhm.
My one of my sisters, she, teach me. She used to work at Victoria's Secret, so she would teach me about, the different types of underclothes or
Yeah.
undergarments, how you can wear these as shirts, or you
Fabric.
can wear these, and then layer it with a lapel or whatever the case may be. My other sister would teach me about aesthetics of just, your facial expressions, how you position your
Mhm.
body, having one shoulder higher than the other,
Mhm.
positioning yourself when you're sitting, things like that. And so with my father, my sisters, my own understanding, I feel I still have some work to do. I'm a little rough around the
But you
edges.
sound like you have gotten those
Yeah,
you got a degree in femininity, girl.
I am trying. I was actually listening to some of your podcasts as well, and I'm just like, okay, I'm doing the right things. I'm doing the
Yes,
right
you
things.
it's amazing. Do you think that being in that more fast, masculine, hurried space contributed to your health problems? Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you don't take time to give inventory to yourself. Our
Yeah.
bodies are talking to us all the time, and they're giving us indicators all the time. We just don't slow down long enough to pay attention to them. We get a backache. Oh, I just pulled
Mm,
something. No, baby, that's your kidneys. Oh, my stomach is hurting. It's just gas. It's just indigestion. No, darling, you have gut issues. That's what's wrong with your scalp. And your scalp is what's wrong with the halitosis in the back of your throat. That's also from your gut. Like all of those things, you know, just understanding how all of those things are tied together. Our vision is getting bad. Well, that's because your pancreas is polluted.
yeah.
Your pancreas directly connected to your vision. If it's polluted, what do you think is going to happen with your
Yeah.
vision? But slowing down long enough to take inventory of the indicators that our body is sending to us. It talks to us all the time. All we have to do is listen. We listen and then do something about it.
You know that trend that was going around? We listen and we don't judge. I feel like you
Yes.
could come up with the one. We listen and we stop and understand or something. Like you really need to slow down and listen to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that but I take great honor in being able to teach my clients because they have the opportunity to choose what type of appointment they want to have. They can have a silent appointment, they can have a game appointment, or they can have a traditional appointment. And so when you come in, they're already, like I said, I use my senses to do everything. So we have nice smells going that ignite, positive energy. We have affirmation music or frequency music or binaural beats or, something to calm you down, to slow you down intentionally
Mm,
because come into your space, it's about you. I
yeah.
don't service 4 or 5 people at a time. It's just you and I. So slow down. Slow down. This intentionally is the space for you to slow down. When you go into the bathroom, I call it the affirmation lavatory. It's
So
laced
you
with
have
affirmations.
affirmations.
Laced with affirmations. When you go in there, I feel like the bathroom holds a lot of our secrets, a lot of our excitements, a lot of our blessings. When you leave out of there, you will not there's no way that you don't feel invigorated.
Yeah.
Everything around the salon is talking to you. So when you leave out of here, you just feel calm and serene. And that is the whole intention of the space.
Wow, Nicole. I could talk to you forever. I just love your philosophy. If I used to live, I used to go to University of Virginia, so I used to live in Charlottesville. But if I, and
Oh.
then I also lived in Northern Virginia, Alexandria. If I was near you, I would be driving right down there with my kids to get a scalp, just the whole thing. But I definitely want everyone to know about your conference. Tell us the name again, the date. We are going to put the link in the show notes. Because it's virtual, so wherever you are, just take the time. I just want to implore you, those listening and watching, take the time. It's not just hair. This is an investment in your well being, in your femininity, and your sense of self. You are worth it. You are worth not just running through life having all of these symptoms and ailments or your hair breaking apart. And, it's just a symptom of something deeper. So please, if you have the time, Nicole is saying that this is free, then by donation. Tell us again the name, the date, and if we when we put the link, they just tell people how they're going to sign up.
Okay, so the event is called Empowering Beauty, Elevating Wellness, a micro conference. It is going to be held November the 15th. It will be virtual via my website, adistinctimage.com. I am also on social media at adistinctimage, and the event is not hair related. However, you want to be there because this is going to give you so much information and insightful ways to be able to elevate the wellness that you already have. You deserve harmony. You
Yes.
deserve being able to tap into yourself to be the most beautiful you that you could possibly be. And the only way that we can do that is if we take time to invest in ourselves, invest in our knowledge, invest in the experiences that we have, invest in the people that we surround ourselves with. And so, like I said, it may be small and mighty in size, but it's going to be huge in impact. You'll be learning from an array of different people in the wellness spectrum that I've been able to put together to create different ways to be able to incorporate wellness within your lifestyle, within your journey. And don't think of it as a fad. This is not something that you will do for a few minutes. You want to take micro steps so that this can be something that you do on a regular basis. It doesn't feel so hard to do. It doesn't feel like a hard obligation. Just being present is enough to be present for yourself. And so we would love to be able to have you in attendance at Empowering Beauty, Elevating Wellness, a micro conference, a wellness event to be able to help invigorate the wellness inside of you. Because again, what is beauty without wellness?
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Nicole. I hope that there was something you could take from this as you listened, as you watched. You deserve it. As a woman, you pour so much into everything outside of yourself. It's time to pour back into yourself. And for those of you who want to be able to learn how to pour into yourself and into a healthy relationship, you can get my book, the Boundaries to Bliss Blueprint for Women Who Are Finally Ready to Win at Love. If you want to go deeper, you can join my Inner Circle coaching program, the Boundaries to Bliss Society, for women who are looking to elevate their femininity, pursue healthy, fulfilling relationships, and have healthy boundaries. Again, if you know any woman that needs to hear this message, make sure you share this, give us a like, a follow, and leave a comment. And don't forget to register for Nicole's conference. I will see you in the next episode. I'm Dr. Nicole.